Look me in my eyes, you loony liberals.
Free speech is for all Americans, not just those who agree with liberal lunacy.
Lincoln Project best scam ever, many brand new multimillionaires. Why didn't George Conway pay attention to the bottom line? Rip-off city. No one should care about Steve's truth, it's his business, but the money is actually public business. Give it back.
Kristen McGinn, it has been a while since that case started any news.
It is time to stand up for your future and the future of your kids.
Blood on the train. New York City has the most pathetic press corps in the world. We have a corrupt and incompetent mayor, yet local media just go along with the Zoom press conferences, cheerleading events, cop bashing, copycat reporters. Getting by the city isn't getting by. https tcoosq4so7pi.
Peter Tainui lost parasite JHNHELLSTRO. I'm happy to know honestly.
Also, Saturn is only evil if worn before evening.
Double standards.
Since when do evangelical leaders answer to the Vatican? This is too many layers of stupid to unpack. You're an actor. If you're going to pretend to be religious, at least get paid for it.
CDCDIRECTOR Dumpkick.
Consulfounds. You would think Adam would get the hint, but apparently not.
Industry Trends by Scott Adams. https tcopcd8pnzw9m via Dilbert Daily.
Trump defense team. This might be the first time CNN had to play Charlottesville fine people comments in context. https tcojtnt38 of 7k.
Scrubbing. If you think banks have bad practices, you're right, but this has literally nothing to do with them avoiding dead mamming people. It's an objectively good change.
Wizard predicts Adam Scrabble yet.
The favorite Republican of the swamp grew up in the swamp. Member of the swamp seems well equipped to be a sacrificial lamb for the swamp. Watched him today again. Zero leadership potential, and this is why the swamp loves him. He reports to them. BTWITS Hogan MD https tco9 McKig. Sweet. Coming soon to your country.
Refund the police. It is almost like this stuff writes itself. https tcowy7xn001p.
Imagine being afraid of a street sign. Their victim complex is next level. Chris Benso https tcozk13a594ws. Guns save lives to https tcoobpjnsed.
IANPK Stonetos is known for being very racist. It's kind of their brand.
That flower nurse. Some nice pics of fox tracks running along a ravine wall. Tomorrow been a big day of work, snowshoeing, more work and more work. Those two eagles were an amazing high point. Now to relax and read a novel where correct and unconfusing pronouns are used.
Epic conservative moment when you run out of gas intentionally because of how racist you are. https tcorocby0cgxe.
CSTROMBE2JHASKINSCABRERACDCDIRECTOR. Sold out. Poor kids, mostly kids from wealthy families, will be alright mostly.
What a weird and dark aspiration. Truth Commission on Stelter's increasingly creepy show. This plus the really outrageous personal attacks that he can't substantiate. In his last book he takes swipes at Christians as well. He can't compete, so tries to cancel the competition.
That flower nurse bastard.
CDCDIRECTOR is a prostitute.
Why did they put up the most compromised member of Congress, Fan Fang's ex-boyfriend, the famously gassy Swalwell? On this case it was a middle finger to the country. Dems have so much power they could inflict the sky on us. House managers launch disbarment proceedings against all the lawyers in this picture. https tcow9x0ll48.
Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your requests to God. Philippians 46 Sunday Scripture. CBS-DFW Tagius sends Ted Cruz and John Cornyn as President Joe Biden to approve the federal declaration request. https tcoffewpwnc7j. Bill Gates. Messinum Blau. IX high impact flicks. I love it.
Premiere of new short video in 20 mins quick that looks at some of the absurdity that we are all now taking as just day-to-day news. It is a short video, so try to catch during premiere. I will be in the chat. https tcozmsm50dslt. Miriau's happy V-Day. Keep enjoying lefty tours.
Goodable. Yeah, she just imprisoned her population leadership, my ass. Viva Fry Team YouTube creators. Viva connect him with the onlookers team.
Miriam's good morning.
This is Destroy Love It. Go nuclear. Dane in Ottawa and held up by clowns like Ford Nation's Ontario Science Table as an example to the world.
New Zealand will soon be emptier.
Today, Senator John Cornyn MP sent a letter to President Biden urging for GovAbbott's emergency federal disaster declaration request to be approved amid severe winter storms across the state of Texas. Tartarium while we don't get those choices. Alpenstrudeli Amlisacker Jack was Robesky one freedom machine.
Belisarius Amlisacker Jack was Robesky one lol.
Belisarius Lupia 44 61 61 54 I see those FCKING get your flu jab signs everywhere detestable what this place is. Marla Bliner Nick the Geek 78 F29 93 5001 The only bright side is there probably won't be anyone left in the future to look back on today when our overseers get their wish. Fiercer than anyone who had any doubt about who we were before certainly can't anymore. Liberator 3 lol nice.
James is free haha nice.
The Amlisacker Jack was Robesky 1 GOVT makes its own rules for itself and its agents. Walton Chastity Sunshine 12890 Jack Pacific wrote that more than 10 years ago now wow is true then as it is today.
Weaponized news thank you it is a double-edged sword for me.
Belisarius Luke P 44 61 61 54 I end up there by the end of almost every day.
Jack was Robesky 1 Oshinigami Bingo.
Jenner it's quite a box they've put us in.
Tyra generally if I was making that much off Patreon I would think paying someone to get a decent logo would be in budget.
https tcopq0ggmajmy https tcofilzk87sh
ZENXVDSCHICK08 Lovely Products 1 so I don't need to do it. The Justice Center is such an excellent organization. Visit their account and buy some meaningful swap to help save Canada. Phonic Swim is it the kind of vitamin D consumers take over the counter?
Luke P 44 61 61 54 lol yes lol.
Ragnif Mary 7 lol.
ZENXVDSCHICK08 Lovely Products 1 is that activated. Lost Parasite JHNHELLSTROM so far they are nothing but
Zach Bisnet JHASKINSCABRERA Kent FCUKING wait.
Alan Coast Luigi Warren another wait 2 weeks idiot. This FCUKHEAD is now saying that guidelines are not meant to be used to push schools to open. Reminder schools in Putin's Russia are fully open without or social distancing since September. WTF happened to Americans? They enjoy having their kids FCUKED.
Kirpan RWALENSKY she doesn't know what integrity is.
CMCCARV 11 Committee 26 wait staff wear masks unfortunately. Yumi Bear deep dive into the Great Reset.
Chloroquine.
So cool. Columbus Raythela Klein DRTOMFRIED and I am sure District I could help out with that projection.
The problem with science is that ends up being whatever the teachers' unions say it is.
Columbus Raythela Klein DRTOMFRIED and when did he say it? Happy Valentine's Day https tcogsimr3x45l JHNHELLSTROM do Qs have some digestive disorder or what or are they so scared of it with 999 survival rate so they sheet their pants non-stop. DRTOMFRIEDE and Dunfkick.
DRTOMFRIEDE and totally detached from reality or what the whole of us has been in a decline since ages. Alex Brinson. I can't even tell if his apologies are serious or a prank they read like satire.
God people for system on Alison Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Fate per THORSTENWITHL1 Yep.
A first system on Alison Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 God Ketel Fate Brewer THORSTENWIETHL1 Go in peace love this is boring cause you are stupid as FCUK.
The first system on Alison Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 God Ketel Fate Brewer THORSTENWIETHL1 I see them I also see that Israel is doing worse than everybody else.
A first system on Alison Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 God Ketel Fate Brewer THORSTENWIETHL1 looks like Israel is doing worse than everybody else to me.
The first system on Alison Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fadenper THORSTENWIETHL1 and Jordan.
The first system on Alison Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fadenper THORSTENWIETHL1 Where is he? For THORSTENWIETHL1 Patriots on Alginger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fadenper Where does your analysis say there was an exceptionally pandemic in Germany? The first system on Alison Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fadenper THORSTENWIETHL1 Why don't you select Lebanon, UAE, Jordan and other me countries here? As far as I remember everybody said we can't compare Palestine to Israel cause they don't test much.
CENXVDSCHICK08 Lovely Products 1 but that is the strong form you can't get at home.
For THORSTENWIETHL1 Patriots of Alginger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fadenper Dude it all looks the same.
MJRBIK 2011 THORSTENWIETHL1 Patriots of Alginger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fadenper Oh no, a video to watch sure as if I got nothing to do but to listen another supporting your confirmation bias thanks numbers are more than enough.
Asarts für Ben Martin and Masters Hadjiv 1 for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fadenper THORSTENWIETHL1 The whole world is going down on cases and you want to use it as a metrics to prove success.
For THORSTENWIETHL1 Patriots of Alginger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fadenper What am I supposed to see from this? Nothing sticks out.
Retro 8-bits me too. Big twig guy yes what went on live TV should be shocking to people instead it's a non-event.
1 and 0 Q 3D coin Cheryl pretty much.
Godkeedle Chiao and Golodnikurius or is Hadji of 1 for Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Fadenper THORSTENWIETHL1
Platonia it doesn't matter why they did it, what they did was actually pulling a real court and they would lose their law licenses. The fact that nobody is even talking about it shows how fully corrupted the entire system top to bottom is. People have to stop obeying them.
Jack was Robes P1 Wow I just watched a few clips maybe 20 minutes but what the managers did was illegal in a real court. The way they manipulated the evidence was something a lawyer would be disbarred for. Truly a disgrace that no senators are calling for them to be removed and disbarred. BSIMONWARD Fadenper FCUK him big time.
Steamed HAMSS.
Numbersmancher where are you dumf cucks coming from? Chris Rich is 18 Cameron Pasha tell me about it.
NOAHMF Twitter Sifty bother to look into this tweet wishing for something bad to happen to a person. Thank you.
The truth is now hate speech.
Biden wants gun manufacturers held liable for shootings. Watch out Oneida, they are coming after you and your kitchen knives next. Chiao Angalad Godkeedle Nikurius or is Hadji of 1 for Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Fadenper THORSTENWIETHL1 Chiao dumb awesome.
Chiao and Alad Godkeedle Nikurius is Hadji of 1 for Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Fadenper THORSTENWIETHL1
Chris Rich is 18 Cameron Pasha I guess nobody gave this a thought really have they?
Numbersmancher Alex Brinson don't choke looking at all the fun I had in Florida last night killing people. Numbers Muncher Alex Brinson. Chris Rish's 18 Cam Renpasha. Interesting thought. Yeah, I am expecting to lose a sense of taste and smell any minute now after a heavy night with such an irresponsible community as these horrible Tampa people. https tcovwuaxj7v.
Yo, big shout out to the Lady Buccaneers!
Kegel Chiao and Alotna Kurya Service Haji one for Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Fate Per THORSTENWIETHL1 Firefox 66.
As awesome as it would be for Ron DeSantis to run for president, no one serious about the direction of this country should suggest that he will still be in office in 2024 and does more good as governor of Florida than a candidate who will have the election stolen from him anyway. Oshimigami, of course it is.
Fechomp JCS, but no one under 18 can have a PayPal account.
GOVT does whatever it wants to you because the only entity GOVT agents answer to is GOVT itself. If you can't see the inescapable problem with that arrangement and how it will always lead to tyranny, then you're hopelessly dim. https tcom0fcwbzb9d.
And Unijaldiri people lets you buy crypto now lol.
God people Chiao Angalodna Kurgisers Hadjiyev 1 for Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Fate Emperor THORSTENWIETHL1. He has no clue what a seasonal virus actually means.
Chiao Angalodna Kurgisers Hadjiyev 1 for Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 God Kegel Fate Emperor THORSTENWIETHL1. Oh, another fan judging from your profile, darling.
How is PayPal brainwashing children? https tcorcafagjajb.
The case the house managers put on was so outrageous and misleading they knew they better shut the whole circus down before people caught on. Had they put evidence like that on in an actual trial, the managers would all be disbarred for the fraud and they'd be lucky to avoid prison.
I guess I'm in big trouble after refusing to apologize for Kamala Harris, a role model and not a role model. Since I'm all about being fair, I will double down and not apologize. The left made nasty and rude jokes about Trump and Melania for 4 years, so no apology from Maine. https tcodautkTJD4v.
Gab ratioed by the homosexual cable. https tcopxlfcctwpy.
Come and take it, commies, come.
Nigeria Service Hajiyev 1 for Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Kegel Fate Emperor THORSTENWIETHL1. When they stop idiotic testing, we will see improvements all over the place.
The only one Avenger totally untenable to continue after making the presentation they had.
Club Mark Jared Steph Brilliant lol. Good point, right speak. Club Mark Jared Ventucky Spazamos. Just more confirmation that Trump was never really trying to do anything to the deep state.
God Kegel.
Jorna Nilsson Alex Philippe defied. Very true. https tconyBty7msg.
Lost Parasite. God Kegel. I have a feeling BRIC countries are so over COVID.
God Kegel ad mask Ben Martin is Hajiyev 1 for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Fate Emperor THORSTENWIETHL1. Nicaragua Hajiyev 1 for Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 God Kegel Fate Emperor THORSTENWIETHL1. Sure, in spring everybody will be doing fine cause COVID is FCUKING seasonal virus. Give me FCUKING break.
Joe Biden had 300,000 armed guards at his inauguration. He clearly believes in good guys with guns. The best way to prevent school shootings is to repeal all gun-free school zones and protect our kids like he protects himself. Fix it. Best politician ever. Defied hope.
How did the UK variant make it to New Zealand?
John Schmidt's my bad. Trump 2020 red lol. JHNHELLSTROM.
THORSTENWIETHL1. Patrix of L. Junger 73362514. Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 God Kegel Fate Emperor Pandemic my ass. Trump 2020 Red https TCO5ASCR2FKYN.
Tempest T0th. Yes, I agree, just a concocted load of shit.
Die Spiegelkörper plus I would love to see overall mortality in that category, please, not based on tests.
Die Spiegelkörper may because there are less susceptible people left in that category. Whoever could die died already.
Nahasman schools have been fully open in Russia without masks or social distancing since September. No, what about Sweden? My ass, I am so tired of this political.
Thela Klein, I can't stand this bitch.
Ben Martin Godkeedle Jonger 73 36 25 14 for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. Nope, people have to die at some point.
Ab Mask Ben Martin Rezhadjiev 1 for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. They vaccinated almost everybody above 60. WTF are you talking about?
Godkeedle Jonger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. Thank you. Hopefully this will give John some peace of mind finally.
Jonger 73 36 25 14 Patrick Savell Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. I'm afraid biology is suggesting that and you are stupid to believe people should live forever, dear.
Jonger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. Darling, do me a favor, please find life expectancy in the UK and the median age of COVID disease and compare the two. Thank you. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Patrick Savell Jonger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. Guess what? More and more old people are all over the place and they have got to die at some point.
2,000 deaths in a population of 30 million and no lockdown since July. It's as if there was no COVID. It defies logic. Care to comment for Nash and Justin Trudeau?
Jonger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1 since 2008. You don't say. Jonger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. If you dare to look into aging population in the US, you would understand why more people died in 2020 than usual. But why would you bother to make your brain work if it's so much easier to post MSM articles, right? Jonger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. You have posted a link to some source here. Old sick people are not dying from COVID, they die with COVID.
Jonger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1 https TCOFGNLFVXKMT.
Get rid of Ford Nash and vote New Blue Party of Ontario.
MRBARNHART 73 Alan they gain more than they already had been.
Steph Brilliant, I've known for a long time, but no, I don't feel liberated, I feel enslaved by it.
Fox, I love truth now, JC.
McFadden 1932 ZSOK 23 https TCOGPELICRY4X https TCO5ZF0HHKN8Z.
Genius, haha, nice choice.
Ben Martin Jonger 73 36 25 14 for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. He has no clue how influenza deaths are calculated. Jonger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godkeedle Fate Emperor THORSTE and WIETHL1. Do toy know anything about the influenza deaths count? If you use the same metrics for COVID, the deaths would be 3 times lower.
We've had enough, I think, of using the pandemic to impose mail-in ballots. No.
Politicians are the dirtiest cockroaches there are on this planet.
Ben Martin Jonger 73 36 25 14 for Alex Bernson MLEVITTNP 2013 God Keedle Fame per THORSTANWITHL1 apparently trials sponsored by pharma companies aren't reflecting real life that much.
This should help to clean some in the us a little bit.
Joining me now is former President Trump's attorney, Michael van der Veen. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Let's get right into those words that we heard from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. He ended the trial with his passionate speech about President Trump's involvement in the insurrection. During it, he said that the former president is still liable for everything he did during his period in office. Are you expecting to face more charges against Mr. Trump in the near future, and do you anticipate being part of that defense?
No, that's just political rhetoric, and I was hopeful that something would come out of this, that the political rhetoric would stop out of Washington, D.C., but I guess apparently it hasn't.
Were you, though, surprised to hear those words coming from the leader of the Republican Party in the Senate?
I'm not surprised to hear a politician say anything at all. No.
Well, throughout the trial, you denied that Mr. Trump had a role in inciting the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. You argued, first of all, that there was no insurrection, but during your closing arguments, you seemingly admitted that there was, in fact, an insurrection, using that word, saying that was not up for debate. What role did the former president play?
You didn't understand the case. I used the word
I'll give you the opportunity to clarify, sir.
Sure. I used the word insurrection in my closing argument when quoting the charging documents. What happened at the Capitol on January 6th is absolutely horrific. But what happened at the Capitol during this trial was not too far away from that. The prosecutors in this case doctored evidence. They did not investigate this case, and when they had to come to the court of the Senate to put their case on, because they hadn't done any investigation, they doctored evidence. It was absolutely shocking. I think when we discovered it and we were able to expose it and put it out, I think it turned a lot of senators. The American people should not be putting up with this. They need to look at who these House managers were and look to see whether these are the folks they want representing them. It was shocking to me. Wouldn't have believed it.
Let's follow up with a point that you're making right now about the House managers, as you say, doctoring evidence, and the argument.
They didn't deny it. Viewers, they didn't deny it. I put it in front of them 3 times. To be clear for our viewers,
what you're talking about now is a check mark. That's a verification on Twitter that did not exist on that particular tweet. A 2020 that should have actually read 2021, and the selective editing, you say, of the tapes. Is that the doctored evidence of what you're speaking?
Wait. That's not enough for you? That's not enough for you?
Wait, no,
sir,
no. I am not a juror in this trial. What I'm trying to be clear for our viewers is what you're referring to, because not everybody has been following.
It's not okay.
Not everybody,
to doctor
sir,
a little bit of evidence.
Respectfully, I have not said it is. I have not said it is okay.
Ma'am, your question is.
I want to be clear for our viewers.
Listen, what has to happen is
I want to be clear for our viewers about what exactly you're saying when you say doctored evidence.
The media has to start telling the right story in this country. The media is trying to divide this country. You are bloodthirsty for ratings, and as such, you're asking questions now that are already set up with a fact pattern. I can't believe you would ask me a question indicating that it's all right just to doctor a little bit of evidence. There's more stuff that we uncovered that they doctored, to be frank with you, and perhaps that will come out one day. But we won this case, and I'm not a sore loser, but what happened, or a sore winner, I should say, but what should happen is somebody should look at the conduct of these House managers. It's unconscionable, aside from all of the due process violations that my client had. And the media should be looking at a square, straight way. the straight way. When I watch the news, I watch one station and it's raining. I watch another station at the same time and it's sunny. Your coverage is so slanted, it's got to stop. You guys have to stop and start reporting more like PBS does rather than a TV news show that doesn't have any journalistic integrity at all. What I'm telling you is that they doctored evidence. And I believe your question says, well, it's only a Twitter check and changing a year of a date here. They switched the date of a Twitter a year to try to connect it to this case. That's not a small thing, ma'am. The other thing they did is they put a check mark on something to make it look like it was a validated account when it wasn't. And when they were caught, they didn't say anything about it. They didn't even try to come up with an excuse about it. And that's not the way our prosecutors or our government officials should be conducting themselves. And the media shouldn't be letting them get away with it either. I'm tired of the biased media on both sides, left and right. What this country wants, what this country needs, is this country to come together, to take the left and the right and find a middle ground and start responsibly being our public officials, our elected officials. And one of the reasons why they do it is because of the media. Because the media wants to tell their narrative rather than just telling it like it is. And frankly, I'm tired of it. I'm not a media, I'm not in front of your cameras all the time, but what I've been subjected to this last week.
I understand, and I've given you the opportunity.
You don't want to hear the truth. Yeah. Okay.
I've given you the opportunity. I will remind you that what I said was that for our viewers who have not been following all of the hours of this trial, to be clear about what you are speaking about. And I understand
I'm speaking
that you
about
seem
the House
very
manager's
upset.
failure to prove their case. That's what I'm telling you. They weren't able to prove their case.
You have won the acquittal of your client.
Yes,
and if you'd
I
like
did.
to continue to talk about this conversation, we can have that discussion.
I don't need to.
But for me to ask a question,
A slanted question that was set up to say it's okay for them to cheat. That was your question. Isn't it okay for them to cheat?
I didn't
it's
say
just
that.
a little bit. You said, to be fair, it was only a check on the Twitter. That's what you said. You got to live by your words. That's the problem. The media has to start living by the truth and not try to create a narrative.
Michael Vanderveen.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. I do appreciate.
Yeah.
Okay. I see you taking off your microphone now. That was President Trump's defense attorney, Michael Vanderveen.
Brendan Live Anonymous Inch 1. It was pretty incredible even in light of how insane the situation already is. Serial man Bren, they're hilarious.
Send one to your so and tell us how it goes.
Lance Videos has some interesting Valentine's Day cards for us. https tcoehp0q2g76m.
James Melville https tcozxm4w7stnx.
Happy Valentine's Day https tcouehciiibk.
Junger 73 36 25 14 Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godpetal Fatemper THORSTENWIETHL1 Tell it to Covidiots who want to save old sick people from dying of a common cold.
Gene Roslala Fungus Among Us.
Philip Watson Barnes will make it worse.
John Schmitz Lalo, those were from you. I'm sorry, you'll go fish them out of the trash. Thank you.
Make it worse.
Belisarius lol https tcoafulotlvz3. Coin Cheryl, it's just so forced, that is the problem I have with it.
TWFULLER8 lol.
Son Immerf Pete, great to have you. Yeah, they FCKED him, I've heard his back under the radar.
Insubordinacy.
GDUBISKY lol. Please shut down the CDC and all our problems will be resolved.
Ben Martin Jonger 73 36 25 14 for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godketel Fatenper THORSTENWIETHL1 They will tell you deaths from old age can't be prevented.
John Smee 59 30 31 71 The second part of the hoax is pretending there was only one group and they were all marching. I interviewed non-marchers who disavowed the racists. Lakes 10K Hole 2 LLC Justin Hart hello from a fellow vacationer.
Just bought stuff at Walgreens Maskless, such a nice feeling.
Valentine's Day is a Catholic holiday started in 496 AD by Pope Gelasius to honor the martyrdom of Saint Valentine, who performed miracles in Christ's name and continued to wed Catholic couples after Rome outlawed marriage for a brief period. Thanks be to God for Saint Valentine.
Freedom Jack, one would think that, right?
They will come for anyone who dares to disagree with their Marxist BS agenda of control.
Some needed 36 31 66 53 There you go, you have a keeper.
Much a media lol.
These investments, one haha, they don't even hide it, all just made up nonsense.
We should start giving Trump acquittal trophies, see if he can collect more rings than Brady.
Plate only will again for me when it comes from family out of love. I'm good with it, it's the other BS I'm not okay with.
Glenn Price, yes of course, patriotic duty and all.
Andy 5 deeper business lol, me too.
Some needed 36 31 66 53 well, that's just the way things are with sentimental relatives, and I'm fine with that. It is done out of love, not BS obligation created for craving material purposes by pausing the commercial arena.
Patriot thinks lol nice.
Steve, I look just such a load of SHT. Prepper Carolina, good for you, I wish you the best of luck.
MJGARTISTPOET Coin Cheryl, they are listening along lol.
Dennis Feininger Ben Martin for Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 Godketel Fatenper THORSTENWIETHL1 What the death rate in?
Kentucky Spaz, I must hear this dude is talking about what I told you at breakfast yesterday. Those guys need to be in prison.
Belisarius Kentucky Spaz, and they're right to figure that lol. I don't like the way they try for commercial reasons to expand Valentine's Day gifts and cards out beyond your actual romantic partner into friends and family. To me that is not appropriate. Sure, a friendly response text if they reach out, but beyond that I don't think so. Van IVG 27 Fateber Monica 29 SEBARAL Balutz Francois Kerpen Justin Hart Prof Schrudy Kimron Martin Kuldorf Karl Vaneghan Hendrik Streak AGINNTIANMSC. Another news which is not so much new.
Coin Cheryl, you got that right.
Kentucky Spaz just making SHT up. It was truly appalling even to me, and I am about as cynical as it comes. McQuaid Glen, see you get circuses.
7 Black Thunder McFadden 1932 Jeff 2993 5001 I like them too, it's a good point, and the horses probably didn't consent to riding them in any way lol. Bob Smiley lol.
Bob Smiley, yes, that's all it is, a giant show.
Masks are the same BS as lockdowns government introduced out of public opinion, and now those same governments don't want to admit they were wrong to do so.
YRKIEWR.
Another BS of the century.
Donald Trump is more likely to be a candidate for president in 2024 than Joe Biden, and everyone on both sides knows it.
KCMO Ken, yes, BS from beginning to end, like pretty much every other official narrative pushed on the people.
Pierce Morgan Bumfkick.
Jeffrey Tucker can't wait for their winter. Alex Brinson target what price is too low. Conservatiler already starting with the BS for 4 years from now. This is the problem, people can't see the scam being run. Wow.
McFadden 1932 Jeff 2993 5001 I'm good with that. How about the horse they rode in on as well? FRTHORSTENWIETHL1 Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013. Kegel Faden per dude, you can troll me as much as you like, I don't give a damn. Go check Euro Momo for 85 for Israel, you will be surprised.
Andy 5, it's incredible how gullible and scared the AVG person is.
Chuggle right Fringus pushing the Kalergi plan night and day. I am falling in love with this guy more and more.
Decisions that all the governors had to make at the outset of this is how do you treat the nursing homes? There were a lot of people saying you needed to get nursing home patients out of hospitals, send them back to nursing homes so that you could clear hospital beds. In Florida, we did the opposite. We said you cannot discharge a COVID positive patient from a hospital back to a nursing home because we were worried that it would spread in the nursing home and you would have more deaths in the nursing home for these vulnerable seniors. And I said, I think we're going to have enough hospital space, but if we don't, I will build a field hospitals all over the state of Florida before I throw our elderly people to the wolves. And so we were very strong on that. I think that was the right decision, and I think it's been borne out to be the case as well.
Incompetent BTCH.
You have said, quote, schools should be the last thing to close and the first thing to open, unquote. Should all students be back in classrooms before the end of this school year?
Good morning, Jake. Thanks for having me again. Really what we have said in our guidance is that the amount of classroom activity really depends on the amount of spread in the community. We know that the amount of disease in the community is completely reflected as to what's happening in school. If there's more disease in the community, there will be more in school, and that most disease in school does not come from in-school transmission, but comes from outside into the community. So what we would advocate for is to have more kids in school as our community spread comes down.
So the CDC guidelines suggest schools could opt not to reopen in-person classes if they're in a red zone with the high community spread that you just referred to. According to our analysis of federal data, that includes 99% of American children. But you have said, quote, there's very little transmission happening in the schools. CDC researchers just wrote in JAMA that, quote, there's been little evidence that schools have contributed meaningfully to increased community transmission. So why give schools that opt not to open up?
It's a really great question. In that red zone that you're referring to, and in fact, yes, many of our current counties are in that red zone, although our numbers continue to decline. But in that red zone, we advocate for hybrid elementary school because we believe those K-5 kids are A, transmitting less, and B, really essential to have back in the classroom. And if you're in middle school or high school, we would advocate for virtual learning for that group. Or if you're able to do strict 6 feet of distancing in those classrooms, to open remotely in a hybrid way.
But President Biden has promised to always follow the science. Can you point to any scientific reasons for students in the United States not to return to in-person classes tomorrow, as long as schools are taking the 5 steps that we referred to earlier, masking, cleansing, etc.? Why not open the schools right now?
You know, I think if you look at what's, as you noted, there's 90% of communities with this high rate of transmission going on right now, and we really don't want to bring community disease into the classroom. We also know that mask breaching is among the reasons that we have transmission within schools when it happens. And so we really need to do the hard work to make sure that there's universal masking, there's strict 6 feet of distancing between, that there's cohorting or podding, so that there's a restriction of disease if it were to be transmitted, you know, and all of the contact tracing and whatnot that needs to be done, and all of that is really hard to put together.
Well, but what's the science? Because you have said there's, you know, I mean, not just you, but Dr. Fauci, others have been saying for months that the schools should be open as long as there's masking and cleansing and social distancing, everything that we talked about. If a school's doing that, I understand if there's a mask violation, that's a problem. But if a school's doing that, I mean, the damage, as I don't need to tell you, on kids, the isolation, the psychological damage, the educational loss of a year for many kids, not to mention the thousands of kids who are just slipping through the cracks. I mean, it's hard to even calculate. And there are a lot of people out there watching who think, like, I thought the science said we should open the schools as long as that we take those safety steps. We're taking the safety steps, and we're not opening the schools.
Yeah, so there are numerous research studies that have demonstrated that if with universal masking and 6 feet of distancing and de-densification of the classrooms, that it's possible to get schools back safely. With all of that happening, 92% of people in those studies were masked. We have other data that was just published in CDC's MMWR that demonstrate that somewhere around 60% of students are reliably masking. That has to be universal. So we have work to do, especially when the country remains in the red zone of high community transmission. As that transmission comes down, we'll be able to relax some of these measures. But the real point is to make sure that the science is consistent with our guidance, which is consistent to say, until we can ensure that we have all those measures happening, that the schools wouldn't be safe.
So schools are not going to be safe unless everybody is masking. I mean, I certainly hear that and understand that, but how do you open the school? I mean, I'm just really confused. It seems to me like you're saying the schools are safe to open as long as everybody takes these steps, but not everybody's taking these steps, therefore we're not going to open the schools. Do I have that right?
Well, we need to make sure that all of those steps are happening, and it's masking, it's distancing, it's potting and cohorting of the younger children. It is, cleaning of surfaces, it's hand washing, and it's contact tracing and diagnostic testing in an efficient manner in collaboration with departments of public health. Not all schools are able to do all of those things right now, and many of those schools are in red zones. So we need to make sure that as we come out of the red zones and do our part as a society to get down from red to lower rates of transmission, and we need to do the work to get all of those mitigation strategies up and running in all of these schools. The American Rescue Plan has resources, $130 billion of resources to facilitate and help schools get there, and that's really why we're pushing for the rescue plan, so that we can facilitate getting those schools all of those mitigation measures so that they can open safely.
You say that vaccinating teachers is not a prerequisite for reopening the schools, but a Kaiser Family Foundation study found that 1 in 4 teachers nationwide, so that's 1.5 million people, are at higher risk of serious illness because of either age or comorbidities. What should be done about those teachers who are at higher risk?
We have in the guidance, thank you for asking this, we have in the guidance clear language that specifies that that teachers that are at higher risk, teachers and students that are higher risk, and their families should have options for virtual activities, virtual learning, virtual teaching. I also want to articulate that while it's not in our school guidance that it's a prerequisite for schools to open, our ACIP, Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices guidance, does put teachers in the 1B category for vaccination. That is vaccination of the same group as greater than 75-year-olds. So I'm a strong advocate of teachers receiving their vaccinations, but we don't believe it's a prerequisite for schools to reopen.
The CDC and you in this interview keep recommending 6 feet of distance between students. This is, of course, one of the barriers keeping some school closed, because classrooms aren't big enough. Teachers are already overwhelmed by the number of students in their classroom. Over the summer, you suggested in a private email to the mayor of Newton, Massachusetts, that 3 feet of distance was, quote, quite safe if people are masked. So is 6 feet absolutely necessary, or can students be safe at closer distances?
Great question, and thanks for asking. Over the summer, we were at much less disease, and our guidance is a bit more flexible in terms of the distancing if you are at low rates of transmission, those rates that we were seeing over the summer. The other thing I want to just to highlight is that a lot's changed since July. We know we have a lot more science. We have over 60 references accompanying our school guidance. Many, if not most, of those references have been experienced experiences that have happened in the fall, both here in the United States and in Europe, as well as new data on variants, which we weren't talking about over the summer. So I think one of the lessons learned here is we have to be humble as to what we're learning and be willing to be flexible as we learn more.
I have to say, I feel a little dispirited after this conversation because I had high hopes that schools would be able to resume in-person learning because so many scientists and health officials, including you and Dr. Fauci and others, have been talking about the science supports opening the schools as much as possible. I know that a lot of teachers are very concerned, and I know that teachers' unions have been pushing back on this, but it sounds to me like you're asking for 100% mask compliance and a number of measures that we're never going to be able to achieve, and that makes me feel like, boy, I don't know if the schools are ever going to open until everybody's vaccinated.
There's literature out that suggests that over 90% of people, when they're masked, you can have safe opening of schools. What I will say is this is directly related to how much disease is in the community. We have more flexibility in opening schools as our disease rates come down. So I would say this is everybody's responsibility to do their part in the community to get disease rates down so we can get our schools opened.
All right, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, Director of the Centers for Disease Control. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks so much.
I don't think that is a real question. That is a fantasy. Some of his supporters are engaging in nothing more. THORSTENWITHL1 for Ben Martin, Alex Brinson, MLEVITTNP 2013. Ketel Fadenperer. Check out Euromono 485. You will be surprised.
Big Twig Guy lol love it. For THORSTENWIETHL1 Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 got Ketel Fadenperer. Well, deaths don't really drop in Israel, so they District IJHASKINSCABRERACDCDIRECTOR. She should be fired right now.
THORSTENWITHL1 for Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 got Ketel Fadenperer. What is all this excess in overall mortality in Israel in 85 group? For Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 got Ketel Fadenperer THORSTENWITHL1. So it was okay to shut everything down based on a faulty CFR, but it's not okay to rely on it when assessing vaccine efficacy. Got you. Johnny Imperial HTTPS TCO64K562 JRAP.
Console Found's cancel culture has successfully been stopped by cancellation.
RGCOOL 2671. Thank you, and yes, they are, both sides are lying to the people.
MJ 196410. Thank you. Here is again for anyone who wants to hear it. HTTPS TCO8V71ZDOUJG.
DTROY 1776. That's all there is to it.
The single greatest threat to you and your money, freedom, and future is the GOVT itself. That's why the GOVT spends endless time and energy trying to pretend it is protecting you from endless secret or hidden threats. It isn't complicated. HTTPS TCOM0FCWBZB90. Dems shut the impeachment trial down while calling witnesses because it was just going to get worse. Their case had already been blown up. They wanted to get out of there before the people started actually looking at the facts. Now they can pretend the case was whatever they want. For more ready-got tips on how to protect yourself from winter weather, click here. HTTPS TCOSED4CZMXFL. For Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 got Ketel Fadenperer THORSTENWITHL1 while lame argument. Tips on how to stay safe during winter weather. Stay off roads if at all possible. Limit your time outside. If you need to go outside, then wear layers of warm clothing. Reduce the risk of a heart attack by avoiding overexertion when shoveling or walking in the snow.
Get your coil lever to join the End the Lockdowns caucus in the PPC.
One of my most accurate predictions nailed it.
For Ben Martin Alex Brinson MLEVITTNP 2013 got Ketel Fadenperer THORSTENWITHL1. Then who is dying in Israel? This too good, short and sweet, not to bookmark and spread liberally. Frankfurt Zach. Spimips, your clap back to your own hallucination was well executed. Can't rule out a technical problem, but it was quite a coincidence if it was.
Korth links to right-leaning sources the left won't read useless. That flower nurse, while my giving my plants brought me luck, I surprised not one but two golden eagles in a beautiful ravine while following fox, otter and coy wolf tracks. On the way into another ravine I surprised a flock of grouse.
We must inspire a new generation of America First patriots, and this club brings it. My campaign will match all donations in the next 24 hours up to $5,000. Maybe some of my great New York congressional colleagues will join me.
Stay safe.
Remember, kids, only married couples should be engaging in Valentine's Day coitus.
Some food for thought.
Because oh yeah, that could do a trick.
Fateper, can somebody send him to space with no return ticket? Elon Musk.
Mikos.
Ben Martin, even though they claimed no evidence in trials affected transmission.
Mikos, well, they need to work on their music a bit, otherwise great.
Ahmed Lawal, people can't tell if you are agreeing or disagreeing. Leadership.
Florida has been open for several months, and you have prioritized seniors. You have prioritized ensuring that kids are in school. Assess the situation in Florida over the last year. I know home construction is up, home sales are up, economic growth. How is Florida doing?
Well, as you can imagine, March, April, when everything was grinding to a halt, I mean, we had a lot of problems like anyone, particularly because tourism stopped. But since then, we now have an unemployment rate that is significantly less than the national average. We had 25% increase in home sales year over year, 2019 to 2020. If you look at the top 25 places where new home construction is taking place at the highest levels, a plurality of those are in Florida. I think we have 6 or 7 of the communities. The number one place in the country for new home construction by far is the Villages retirement community, which has thrived during the pandemic, even though, of course, seniors are more vulnerable to COVID than the bulk of the population. So we have a lot of great trends. And I would also say, Maria, you have lockdown states that are putting people out of business. We focused on lifting people up, but by doing that, you actually have new entrepreneurs coming to start new ventures. New restaurants are opening in Florida. New hotels are opening in Florida. And so people view Florida as a place where they can follow their dreams. It is a free state. We are doing a lot to focus on protecting elderly people from COVID. We vaccinated, I think, about 1.75 million seniors so far. About 40% of all seniors in Florida have gotten a shot. We're doing it every day, continuing until we get all the seniors who want a shot, get a shot. So there's a whole bunch of things we've been doing for COVID, but at the same time, we've lifted our state up, we've saved our economy, and I think we're going to be first out of the gate once we're able to put COVID behind our country.
Mikos, more of this, please.
Mikos.
Beautiful news. This should be the law of the land in every state in this union.
Stay safe, Houston.
James Melville, I have seen 2 lunatics wearing similar on my flight to Houston. Their shield was foggy from their own breath. No idea how they could see anything. Take aside, they looked ridiculous. SKMOREFILDJHASKINSCABRERA Devron DeSantis Free State indeed.
Alex Brinson, there is a huge excess in 85 deaths in Israel.
That's what they do in China, Fee.
Back on the vaccine passports, clearly this is something that's going to have to be agreed internationally, which the government is now making signs that it's looking at. What's, though, to stop a company in this country demanding that in order to enter a restaurant or in order to go into a pub in the future, that someone produce a document saying that they've got a vaccine?
Well, in terms of the law that would apply, that's something that's the prerogative of the government and Parliament. But what we want to do is make sure that there's enough confidence in the national rollout that when we're in a position to open non-essential retail and in due course after that hospitality, people can do so confidently. The modalities and the mechanisms, of course, that all needs to be worked out. And the Prime Minister, I said, will give a clearer sense of the direction of travel.
So
on the
domestically,
22nd.
it won't be needed. You don't think a domestic vaccine passport where you have to show a bit of paper to go into a supermarket or something like that?
Well, it's something that hasn't been ruled out and it's under consideration, but of course you've got to make it workable, and you've got to. I think the thing with when I've looked at this, whether it's on the international, the domestic, or the local level, you've got to know that the document that is being presented is something that you can rely on, that it has an accurate reflection of the status of the individual. So I'm not sure there's a foolproof answer in the way that sometimes it's presented, but of course we'll look at all the options.
Okay.
Mr. Commodity JHASKINSCABRERA. She is worried people will start waking up seeing the states without mandates doing better than those with.
Always remember local elections are just as important, if not more important, than federal elections. While they may not get the headlines, that is where a lot of change is truly made.
My post.
Alex Brinson, 25. Indoor dining. Take your sweetie to Florida instead. Cheaper and more fun.
Then IDG27 Ash Stewart can wait for their winter to hit.
Justin Hart.
NZHERALD.
Just story 16. I think people did well.
Common 5G NASCAR Cope is an unusual but not surprising combination. HTTPS TCOPFJEXU1JIC.
You know you did something right when Nancy Pelosi is mad. The needle drop. Him 63 years old and recently discovered Tom McDonald's, and like these other hip artists, McDonald's respects the rule of law and knows that all of this Democrat lies are fake. I've been pumping his music on repeat, thanks Tom. Chris Bronco 69. Haha nice. 1 minute. Tom admit lol, of course not, it's a feel good for the whole family. Fagans Chosp yes.
Throat and Jade haha exactly, it's good to know I'm not alone.
Lead Peck Night of Cuomo HHPHORGTHEKINGDMCMOS just so asinine.
Joe Biden's plan for schools is cruel and destructive for students. Reopen the schools, start playing sports again. HTTPS TCOUJUZKO6I24. Trump wins the impeachment doubleheader while the press buries the biggest stories of the decade. HTTPS TCOI2JGDXVCFA.
Look at Politico's total fake news headline. Can't tell if it's a mistake or a leap. No way is Mitch in charge anymore. We don't care what titles he has, what silly perks he hoodwinks his colleagues into giving him. Almost makes me wish Amy McGrath had beaten him.
Expect some extra cursing today as I take on the racists and fascists in the mainstream press today on Coffee with Scott Adams at 10 a.m. at daily at HTTPS TCOSQCBBTYWXZ.
No journalist who uses the big lie in a story is in the news business. That's the propaganda business.
Joseph Novak's, and it's straight from Nazi Germany. So no, the flower nurse, I treated my plants with my new plant sprayer before heading out.
Fact check true. King Can't DuckDuckGo Breitbart News. Yes, Google hides Breitbart stories.
JSEGOR Wikipedia has the same issue. They can show it as a lie, but they won't say it.
The term big lie as it is being used about the election is designed to make you think past the sale and also conflate Republicans with Nazis. As such, it is racist, divisive language. HTTPS TCO3ECA84LD.
Just data that didn't happen.
3 GUIs. Those two things kind of merge over time.
Jacinct Kursed Koklet 1 Mech Sandwich. The Democrats mun the mob attacked undefended businesses.
This makes fact-checking a total joke.
Shane Eggers, on your talk down of the hallucination you are having is effective. I think you mocked it well.
Always is so good. Come back to your own imagination. Zing, you got yourself on that one.
We are not all paying attention. Nandu Corduco 19th. That's how I'd expect a victim to talk about the event.
We probably destroyed an entire generation.
Impeached twice, acquitted both times. Guess it's time for the left to go back to inciting violence.
This is why we need an election commission to review the election, not bipartisan. Those are always wheezing political gusbags, but smart, principled, and honest.
Do you know why our justice system doesn't put the family members of the victims on the jury? Because it wouldn't be a fair trial, that's why. But the victims of the Capitol assault just sat on the jury for the impeachment trial over the Capitol assault, no problem.
Biden 711. You favor impeaching Biden for the Fine People hoax too. 54 of Democrats and 21 of Republicans oppose freedom of speech basically.
Fabric Clyde. No major network Democrats won't read any of those sources.
Korf tries to argue as the fake news part. He debunked it by showing the whole video. That isn't trying to argue anything, that's winning.
I don't think I can support any Republican who doesn't at least talk about impeaching Biden for spreading the Fine People hoax, which obviously incites violence.
Simply awesome. Michael Vanderveen. Citizen Watch. Trump's attorney call out the media directly to the media. Other side. You interpreted disavowing racists as being a racist. You probably shouldn't talk in public. Theflower. Nurse. Geez Louise, it's a clown world. It snowed last night. Temperature has gone up to a nice 10°C and it's sunny, so this morning's snowshoeing plan is to cross the frozen river, now entirely safe, and search for otter sign. Hiss a male. Do a Google search on impeachment Fine People hoax and see how the fake news and at least one search engine have disappeared. The biggest story in the country, Breitbart, was the biggest publication to do the story. Google hides them. This is happening right in front of us.
Actually, given Canadian politicians' use of grandma as an excuse to destroy Canada and daily life and their continued neglect of long-term care, it might be time to bring our seniors home and away from the murderous government.
This concerns media reporting in general. Journalism from mainstream media is dead.
https://tcokulsunlixb.
Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, some cases of arterial hypertension on high surveillance. Translation below.
Happy Sunday everyone, it's time to follow the science and recognize as a nation that abortion is murder. Let's work together to end abortion in America.
Conflict of interest. Host COVID investigator is recipient of Chinese Communist cash. Worked with Wuhan Lab for 18 years. https://tcod1gihz7m86. Total news silence on the biggest story of the year.
Last post of a thread that examines what health is necessary due to fear stoked by our governments in concert with mainstream media and Big Pharma.
Is this real high-end vandalism? What happened to Joe's Lawn of Love? https://tco7sp0 Required reading for Ontario residents. Excellent reading for those who want to know the mechanism for silencing medical professionals. Ontario Science Table. A gangrenous limb that needs amputation and burning Ford Nation in it up to his scalp.
This is a practice run for the next federal election.
This has been known for months, and yet Ford Nation's government offers crickets and perpetual lockdowns and vaccines.
COVID-19 India and France. A cruel comparison. Use Google Translate.
The remdesivir scandal deepens. Not only does it not treat COVID-19, but it generates mutations of the virus. France Sawyer. This scandal involves the Ministry of Health, the Scientific Council, their allies, and influencers.
With 10 dead per million inhabitants, it would be interesting to look at Madagascar's strategy. COVID-19, the strange epidemic strategy of Madagascar. We must stop forcing children to wear masks. Masks are not good for their development and do more harm than good. Children are in the lowest risk group under the healthy adult population. Kids have been the biggest victims of COVID-19. Forced masks mandates must end now.
Masking observed in Europe. There is no correlation between masking and propagation of the virus. PR Tucson was right. Masking outdoors is a political measure. India. The number of new contaminations plummet in spite of intense social interactions. The possibility of having reached herd immunity is suggested, notably in the capital, where more than 1 in 2 inhabitants have antibodies.